This feels very weird. Recording in the day, it's just, it's a bit different. I wonder how the lighting looks. Don't fiddle too much with it. Anyway, here we go. Hi guys, welcome back to this week's episode. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing this in the daytime. It is a bit weird. Don't know how the lighting is for better or worse, but it is what it is. This is the episode that I asked you to tune into last week. I also did the community post, bit short notice, but anyway. So this is the one that I said I needed your help with. As you all know, I have done videos about it before. And it's always in the description below, is the Whatnot platform. It's a sort of, like I've mentioned before, it's a sort of eBay meets Twitch, something to that effect. If you haven't joined the platform yet, check it out. It's a good way, especially for people into collectible hobbies, so Funkos, comics, trading cards, Pokemon cards, Hot Wheels, any sort of diecast. Anyway, in any case, clothing, sneakers, that sort of thing. It's mainly a marketplace, but it does give sellers the opportunity to do live streams, and they can do live auctions. There's a lot of interaction between sellers and buyers, which is one of the plus points. One of the main plus points is that communication avenue that you have. So I have a referral code, which I'll post in the link every week down below. It's not a referral code, but it's sort of a sign-up code. So if you haven't joined the platform yet, be sure to, if you do decide to join up, and I would highly recommend it, use somebody's sign-up code, because you get $10 free credit to use in any of the stores or on any of the sellers' shops or live streams, live auctions, whatever. You can spend it anywhere. It doesn't have to be linked to the person that you got the referral from. You don't have to use mine. You can use mine. Please do if you feel so inclined. But just make sure that you use somebody's sign-up code, because $10, especially obviously if you're watching my content, you're into diecast, mainly Hot Wheels probably, $10 can make a huge difference. And also they have the as with eBay, you can submit offers if the seller allows it or accepts offers on some of his items. So you can, obviously, it doesn't, you'll get the $10 off the purchase price, and maybe if you're good at negotiating, you might get an even bigger discount. So try that. So that brings me to today's video. I have built up some credit. When you use my referral code, if you do purchase something, I do get a credit once your transaction has been completed. So it has to have been delivered. It's to prevent people from sort of placing orders and then, at the last minute cancelling them, and they've already handed out credit. So they only allocate the credit to you once the transaction has been completed and the person on the other end has received their package. Which I think is a pretty good way of doing it. So I've built up between $30 and $40 worth of credit, and I have a package that needs to ship to South Africa. I have some stuff that I got from eBay, and then my wife also has some stuff coming from our Florida forwarding service. So I have to make a purchase now, but I would like to make a purchase now because I don't know when the next package. I don't have anything up and coming. Nothing piques my interest for the future RLC releases at this stage. So might be a while before I get to the package again. So I'd like your help. I'd like your opinion. This isn't what I mean. It's not. I've got money and I want to spend it, and you need to help me spend it. That's not. I thought it'd be a good exercise, or an interesting exercise, is if I showed you guys what options I'd be looking at. You give me your opinions on those options, and obviously if I'm way off or you completely disagree, give me your opinions, give me your suggestions. To not ramble on too long, I've basically broken it down into 4 types of collectibles that I'm looking for. All Hot Wheels, 3 Hot Wheels, 1 Matchbox. and I've got a few options in each. So I'll run through them quickly. I have got pictures that I'll throw up. They are from Whatnot, not necessarily the sellers that I'm looking to buy from, but where I could, I did take the pictures. So these pictures are from the sellers' own listings. These are their pictures, it's their property. I'll put a little disclaimer at the bottom. These aren't my photos. It's directly from the Whatnot platform. You can go into the platform right now and see exactly the same thing. Okay, so yeah, I'd like your feedback. I thought it'd be a good exercise, get some interaction going. So I'm looking at 4 sort of different series, if you will. So the first one is Super Treasure Hunts. So I've got Super Treasure Hunts from Whatnot before. Very good prices, especially if you can negotiate. Usually if there's some sort of damage to the card or the blister, that's clearly stated, because a lot of the time they also sort of when they do live shows, they show the actual product, so there's a little bit less hiding damage if there is sort of shelf wear or soft corners, that sort of thing. So at some stage, usually all of the listings, a lot of the listings show up on a live stream, so you can actually see it on video. So there's no sense in trying to hide that sort of thing anyway. So sometimes you can negotiate a better price as well when there's that sort of minor damage, if you, and especially if you're inclined to open your supers. Okay, so Super Treasure Hunts. I've got my eye on 3 of them. All of the items that I'm suggesting or having a look at or considering is probably the better word, sort of in the same ballpark price range. Some a bit more, some a bit less. Some of the listings specifically, I had to look for ones that gives me the option to put in an offer. So I'm hoping to get it for a slightly better price. So yeah, all of these will be sort of in the same ballpark. So Super Treasure Hunts, I am looking at the Audi Quattro, the Super Treasure Hunt from this year, the one in blue. Looking at the Volvo, the P1800, the Gasser. I'm leaning heavily towards that one because since the release of the P1800 Gasser, it was the Legends Tour winner, if I'm not mistaken, from a couple of years back. Might be mistaken, but I think that was the winner. We had it in, I think the winner was in green. We had a red recolor in between. And yeah, I obviously like gases. I've mentioned before, I like bold colors. I like sort of real drag liveries on these. And this ticks all of the boxes. Great wheels. It's as close to a premium as we're going to get at this stage, and the deco more than makes up for the fact that it's not full premium. So leaning towards that one, but the Audi is an option, and then the Pontiac Firebird obviously is the other one. Just the execution on that one, I mean, it's such an iconic car, and it's got the classic livery on it, really well done. So I think that'd be pretty cool in hand as well. I think it's going to be one of those where the pictures on the internet don't do it justice. So those are sort of the 3 that I'm considering in the Super Treasure Hunt category, if I can call it that. Next up, Matchbox Super Chases. I've gotten a few from Whatnot, which will be arriving in the same package. So there is going to be a video down the line featuring some newer Matchbox Super Chasers. So I only have 2 more that I'm sort of probably considering at the moment, because I have picked up quite a few that I've wanted. So in the Matchbox Super Chase, I'm looking at the Ford, the Ford GT, the black one, and also the Porsche Macan, the grey one. Really like that one. I've stated before in the previous video when I received that BMW, the touring station wagon, liking that sort of German. I don't think it's officially like the German livery, but because it's German cars and sort of has the flag elements to the colorway. I'm assuming that's the idea. So liking that Porsche. Not a huge fan of Porsche SUVs overall, but that I think the execution on that one is cool. So those are the two superchasers that I'm looking at and considering. Again, they might be slightly less. So if I can obviously get more than one purchase done with the credit, that's also a consideration. And coming to my next category, that's what I'm actually getting it at, is one of the things that I need to decide on, and you can always let me know what your strategy is with this sort of thing, is do I try and get as many cars or a car that I really want, basically for free, using the credit, or do I put that chunk of credit towards a much more expensive car to lessen the blow, to get that car at a price that I can afford, as opposed to trying to get it, having to fork out something that I really can't afford, because I am on a shoestring budget. That has to be said. So if I go past the credit, it can't be very far past the credit that I have available. So something to consider. So that's why with the convention section, I'm looking at the two cars from the latest convention, the Matt Gabe Fair Lady, the blue one, the one we saw in person. Well, attendees saw in person at the recently concluded LA convention, and then from the same LA convention car or set, the 32 Ford, which is sort of the cheaper one in the set. It's a lot easier to get. That does fall in my price range. I saw Sean Nicholas's unboxing and cracking open of all of the convention cars. He had the whole set, the dinner cars, the charity cars, the whole shebang. That put me off slightly. That put me off the Ford slightly. Not a lot, but it's weird. It's the other way around. It almost looked a bit better, like on the card as a package, as with the card art, and they actually did. I say Julian Qualls did a good job on the card art for the last couple of conventions. This one in particular with the LA traffic, that's quite cool. So that one almost looked a little better on the card. In hand, you sort of notice that the details aren't all there if you compare it to the RLC model, which I think is it's minor, personal preference, I think. So that's probably what it's going to come down to. It's personal preference. And then from a previous convention, the IROC, that yellow Camaro, the IROC Z, that thing, I love that. From the minute I saw it, I had to have one of those. So I knew that eventually I would pick up one. So this is an opportunity to do just that. Just as a footnote, I might be doing a trade locally for one. So if that trade comes off in the next couple of days, I will be passing on obviously spending the credit or even more on it. So yeah, that fingers crossed I can work something out. So that one I might be chalking off the list anyway. But for the moment, that falls in the possibilities category, and it's also within the budget at this stage. And then the last one is car culture chases. I don't pursue car culture chases that much because we've only, I think, since they started the car culture chases, we haven't had all of the waves here in South Africa. I found the one that's the Pajero, is it not? I'll put up a picture quickly. The one that I featured, that I found locally, in those 4x4 car culture set. So it's not something that I pursue actively, but they do make good trade baits here. So especially with the latest one, and that's one of the options. The latest one, I'm saying latest one for what we have. We've recently received the World Tour Series in stores. So the Alfa Romeo GTV in black, that's quite popular here. That's very popular here. The GTVs overall, the main line since it launched last year with the red and the white, they've been flying off the shelves. You hardly see them hanging these days. Like a year later, and we've had quite a few colorways since. So they get picked up very quickly. So the red ones from the World Tour, the premium ones, they don't hang around either. So getting a black one, if I can get it at a very good price, I can decide. Either I hang on to it because it is something that you don't come across every day. But you sort of, in the back of the mind, you think, maybe I can find one in the wild, since we are getting most of the car culture waves, but the chases are very few and far between. So there's that one, and then the other one is the Autostrasse, the Volvo, the black one, the 142. I know it's not popular with many collectors. It's usually one of the more affordable, let's call it cheaper ones around. I've always liked, and I said it in the video when I did the preview of the set, I like the card art and the cars, the combination. It just fit in with the theme, and obviously the color of the car as opposed to the background color on the card, the way they sort of contrast, and then with the chase being black and then the card is a different color to what the mainline would be, or the normal one would be. It's almost sort of it's an art piece, to be honest. I like those cars. I like that era. So the Merc in that set, the Volvo in that set, and then with the Chase, those three together make up quite the trio. So I am still short the Chase. I haven't picked it up yet. So again, this is an opportunity. Might take it, might not. I'll see what pops up. And that's it. Those are the options that I'm considering seriously. I know the video is running a bit long. I'll try and end it quickly. But yes, this is where I need your help and your opinion. How would you approach it? Which ones would you take? Would you try for multiples? Would you try for one rather expensive single one? Would you go for something completely different? And don't say sneakers. I'm not doing the sneakers thing just yet. Let's try and stick to Hot Wheels and Matchbox maybe. But if there's honestly, okay, if there's one thing like off-brand that I wanted to consider, or that I did consider, I'll post a picture here. It's those, and don't ask me why. It's those 7-Eleven Auto World exclusives. Not necessarily the Chases, because they get quite expensive very quickly as well. So I would only be able to afford like part of a Chase, or just maybe just the one Chase. But I've seen on whatnot listings where they have the Corvette and I think it's the Corvette and is it the Viper that's together, or is it a Supra? I think it's a Viper that they have sort of combined together. That I would consider. That's not too bad. Completely off-brand, but as a once-off, I'd like those. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. We don't have 7-Elevens here in South Africa. Maybe there's a bit of nostalgia. I mean, while traveling, we used to frequent 7-Elevens all over the world. So you recognize the logo, and the whole setup inside is very different to what we have here in South Africa. Anyway, okay, so that's it. Cutting the video short here. Please leave your feedback in the comment section below. I'll post this on Instagram as well, just a short clip or just a few stills. Might run through the options on Instagram. You can give me your feedback on there. I usually share the videos on Facebook as well, so if you follow me there, you can leave the comment there as well. And yeah, I'll tally up the numbers and I'll give you some feedback, and I'll definitely let you know what I decided in the end. I'm still undecided whether or not I'll show you or I'll tell you. If I do get the order in sort of rather quickly, I might actually have the package in hand in a couple of weeks, so might hold out for the video for that. Okay, right, keep well. Enjoy the rest of your day. This is still very weird filming in the day. I am a bit of a night walker, but yeah, keep well. We'll see you again next week. Cheers. Bye.